Do you think पाकिस्तान में अच्छे एड्स बनते हैं या अगर नहीं तो उसको किस तरह इम्प्रूव होना चाहिए?
I don't know how to answer that question without getting into trouble. I don't think there is something wrong with being inspired by your neighbors or international markets. Not at all. India को देख लें तो I mean आप काजोल को डाल लें या शाहरुख खान को डाल लें, you'll be sold out. Similarly, we have some stars in our country that have insane buying power.
So what are the industry red flags?
Immediately anything controversial. As soon as they get controversial, I will red flag it to the brand. I usually know when something is about to happen. Not always, but मुझे एक inclination, एक Tweety bird आके कान में बता जाता है.
Do you also think or believe कि a lot of or some of the influencers or celebrities they post something जानबूझ के because they want attraction?
Yes, of course.
है ना?
Of course, there's so many celebrities out there. I feel everyone has a diamond in them. You just have to carve that diamond out. Some people find it earlier, some people find it later. But find that thing that makes you crazy, that makes you passionate, and that makes you different from everybody else.
हाँ भाई क्या हाल है भैया? देखिए एक दुनिया होती है सेलिब्रिटीज की, एक होती है ब्रांड्स की, एडवर्टाइजमेंट की, लेकिन इन सब के पीछे जो एक की प्लेयर होता है और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर होता है वो होती है पीआर एजेंसी. और आज के जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग शख्स हैं, हसन रिजवी उनका नाम है, जो कि सीईओ हैं बॉडीबीट पीआर के. उनके साथ हमने डीप डाइव किया, इनसाइट्स ली हमने डिजिटल कैंपेन्स के ऊपर, ब्रांड्स के साथ काम करने के तजुर्बात, एडवर्टाइजमेंट, इन्फ्लुएंसर, सेलिब्रिटीज, पीआर मैनेजमेंट, इन सारी चीज़ों पे बहुत डिटेल में बात की. बहुत कुछ सीखने को है. आइए चल के हसन से बात करते हैं. Hasan, good to have you here, man.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm privileged and honored to be sitting in front of you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Very excited.
Thank you, thank you. So, Hasan, हमारी ऑडियंस को ज़रा बताइए कि पीआर क्या है और पीआर का बिजनेस क्या है, क्योंकि सेलिब्रिटीज़ को तो हम सब देखते हैं, हम सब फॉलो करते हैं इंस्टाग्राम पे, हेयर एंड देयर, ड्रामा, मूवीज़ वगैरह, बट ऑब्वियसली उनकी दुनिया के पीछे पीआर का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है.
बहुत बड़ा.
सो ज़रा पीआर लोगों को समझाइए कि वो क्या इंडस्ट्री है और क्या आर्टिस्ट मैनेजमेंट और ये सारी चीज़ों के बारे में बताइए.
तो अगर मैं बहुत ही सिंपल करके बताऊं तो मार्केटिंग, इन माय ओपिनियन, पीआर इज एनीथिंग that creates talkability. So if today you see this cup and this cup makes you talk about this tea, I have done my job. Anything that creates talkability, and that could be anything. It could be something you saw on Instagram. It could be something that's delivered to your home. It could be something inside your home. It could be merchandise, like the Sapphire 7-Up campaign that we've just launched. So it could be anything. Anything that makes you talk about my brand in the tonality that I want you to talk about the brand in. That, in my opinion, is PR. So it could be a CGI Barbie billboard on happening somewhere in New York, while it could be something on ground. It could be anything. So that's how I train my team. कि marketing and PR is not just कि यार एक ad बना दो या दो celebrities को ले लो. No. What is that person, the viewer, saying about that brand? If that is that's the fun part, and that's what we do.
अच्छा, मार्केटिंग की आपने बात की. ऑब्वियसली वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ मार्केटिंग ग्रेजुएट्स मोस्ट लाइकली वाचिंग अस. आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट क्रिएटिंग एन ऐड कि भाई ये ऐड बना लिया, 2 आर्टिस्ट लिए और इस तरह कर लिया, बट इसके बाद जो टोनैलिटी वाला जो आपने बात की, सो नॉट ओनली योर जॉब इज़ टू पुट वर्ड्स इन माई माउथ बट ऑल्सो द सेम टोन.
Absolutely.
सो इसकी थोड़ी सी लाइक इफ़ यू कैन ब्रेक इट डाउन कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर आपके पास एक प्रोजेक्ट आता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट्स से सफ़ायर का भी आपने बात की, 7-Up, इट्स अ वेरी यूनिक थिंग, वी डिडंट सी दिस हैपनिंग बिफोर. और पेप्सी की कोई थी इस तरह की at some point?
So Pepsi had done a collaboration with Outfitters on a smaller scale.
Okay.
But is tarah being in store, having a in-store display, selling on multiple platforms, Food Panda, Sapphire website, in-store, इस स्केल पे नहीं हुआ है.
Right.
So this is the first of its kind.
Okay, तो फिर इस तरह का एक प्रोजेक्ट आता है, what goes into your mind कि इसको मैंने कैसे लेके जाना है? Like break it down. How do you work?
So a brand comes to me, for example, it's a tissue box. Right? A tissue box comes to me and says कि I want, हम 2 ads बना रहे हैं साल के, but हम चाह रहे हैं कि पूरे साल conversation tissue के बारे में हो. How do we make that happen? हम 400 ads तो नहीं बना सकते ना, लोगों के पास appetite है ads देखने की अब. Right? What's happening is West में तो बिल्कुल ही eliminate हो गए ads, but यहाँ आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हो रहा है because TV is still big in Pakistan, right? But what's going to happen is I'm going to create bite-sized content that that's around the tissue box. Bite-sized content depending on the TG. If the TG is more premium than Instagram, if the TG is more mass than TikTok.
लोगों को समझाया बाइट साइज कंटेंट क्या होता है.
शॉर्ट फॉर्मेट कंटेंट, जैसे आप रील्स देखते हैं इंस्टाग्राम पे, टिकटॉक देखते हैं, यूट्यूब की अब शॉर्ट्स होने लगे हैं. दिस इज ऑल बाइट साइज कंटेंट. यूट्यूब, व्हिच यू आर द किंग ऑफ, यूट्यूब इज लॉन्गर फॉर्मेट कंटेंट that you really need to curate the content. The content needs to have more power. It has more I don't need to explain YouTube to you, right? And your audience already knows the power of YouTube. So then we craft content that will be going out on each platform. That content could be even on morning shows. Morning shows पे भी तो टिश्यू की मार्केट बैठी हुई है. वहाँ वो मदर्स, वो लेडीज, वो खातून बैठी हुई हैं जो जाती हैं ग्रोसरी स्टोर्स और वो ही खरीदती हैं टिश्यू बॉक्सेस. तो उनके लिए हम क्या इंसेंटिव बना सकते हैं, उनको हम कैसे एक्साइट कर सकते हैं. मे बी डू अ पार्टनरशिप विद खादी, फॉर एग्जाम्पल. You know, this market is very big on khadi clothes and khadi giveaways.
Right.
So we create a collaboration with them and we launch some sort of a partnership or some sort of a discount coupon in collaboration with Khadi. Khadi, you guys can thank me later for this free integration. I was not paid for this. But you get the idea.
Right.
So that's what we do. It's talkability throughout the year in the tonality the brand requires.
अच्छा, तो throughout the year फिर सारे occasions भी आ गए. Mother's Day भी आ गया, इंडिपेंडेंस डे भी आ गया, ठीक है, डिफेंस डे भी आ गया जी, कायदे आज़म की बर्थडे भी आ गई. सो उसके अराउंड भी रख के करना है.
अगेन डिपेंड्स ऑन द ब्रांड. सो इफ द ब्रांड इज फॉर एग्जांपल GenZ brand, then we look at more GenZ occasions like birthdays, like anniversaries, New Year's, Christmas, Eid. These are all very GenZ. Party करनी है, celebration करना है, नए कपड़े खरीदने. So that's where GenZ gets relevant. If it's an older market, then we look at more established like Independence Days, Qaid Azam Day, Illama Iqbal Day. So occasions are very centric around the nature of the brand. It's not every brand for every occasion.
Right. Do you think पाकिस्तान में अच्छे एड्स बनते हैं, या अगर नहीं तो उसको किस तरह इम्प्रूव होना चाहिए?
I don't know how to answer that question without getting into trouble. Kuch ads बहुत अच्छे. Some ads, I'll be honest, are really, and I'll name Surf Excel has done an amazing ad every Ramzan. The kind of ad that you want to see and you want to see and you want to see. It has a high recall value. It has a beautiful message for both mothers and children and fathers. It's memorable. It's something I'd want to watch again. दाग तो अच्छे होते हैं. It's a beautiful message that goes out. And I think the way they story tell it is amazing. However, there are some ads that I feel really make no sense. I feel like they've just put in really big stars and the storytelling part hasn't come through. There are other markets very similar to Pakistan जो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं. And I don't think there is something wrong with being inspired by your neighbors or international markets. Not at all. I think when people put out good work, whether it's locally or internationally, it's an avenue for us to learn from it. So I think we are getting there, and I think our ad copies are getting better. Are we there yet? I don't think so, but we will get there.
अच्छा, मुझे ये बताएं कि obviously the brands call the shots, right? They say कि भाई हम इस तरह की एक चीज़ बनाना चाह रहे हैं. But if there's a situation where you think कि because you're more connected to the audience perhaps as opposed to the brand themselves, you understand the pulse कि क्या चीज़ चल सकती है, क्या चीज़ नहीं चल सकती, because you're dealing with what 100 brands a month, right?
जी.
तो उस पर कभी कभी इस तरह का आता है कि like you want to take a decision, but am I framing it right?
Yeah, you are. And I got it. And I can answer that question very confidently at this stage in my career. No. Now, if I feel strongly about something and I'm backing it up with evidence or insights, or I'm backing it up with experience, I don't think हमारे पास ऐसा कोई brand है जो नहीं लेगा हमारी advice. All our brands give us a lot of respect in the field that we are operating in. And now if we feel strongly, I feel the brands give us that ownership. And that's why the brands trust us, to be honest. वो हमारे पास आते ही वो query लेके ये है कि यार ये है problem, आप इसका मुझे एक strategy devise करके दें कि वो solve हो सके वो problem. And we've proved ourselves campaign after campaign, which is why brands are excited to work with us. And of course, I think now we are at a level where we've carved. I remember 12 years ago, 13 years ago, when we used to knock on doors, us waqt, yes, I agree. What you were saying is right. That they would say, do this, and we would be like, clients always right, and we would do it. But now we say, okay, guys, this is what we are recommending. This is why we are recommending this. This is our experience. This is our exposure. And almost 99% of the times, they take our advice.
That's amazing. Achha, how in advertising, agar hum advertising ki baat kare, how important is star power? एक बड़ा सेलिब्रिटी लेने से क्या कितना वजन पड़ता है, या फिर डू यू थिंक के इट्स लाइक इट शुड बी अ रेसिपी ऑफ अ गुड स्टोरी टेलिंग साथ में स्टार, अ स्टार अलोन कैन नॉट डू द एंटायर जॉब? व्हाट्स योर टेक अबाउट? क्योंकि बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स का फोकस होता है हाँ जी माहिरा ले लो बस ठीक है.
I'll ask you a question, and it's not an exact replica of your question, but I'll reverse the question and ask you a question. मूवी हिट किससे होती है, स्टार से या स्टोरी से?
स्टोरी से.
आई फील दोनों से होती है. आई फील इफ यू पुट अ दीपिका इन इट, देयर इज अ वेरी बिग चांस दैट द मूवी विल बी अ हिट.
अगर सलमान खान की फिल्म का स्क्रिप्ट किसी और को दे दो वो नहीं चलेगी.
एग्जैक्टली.
तो सलमान की वजह से.
एग्जैक्टली. सो आई थिंक इट्स अ मर्जर ऑफ द टू. इंडो पाकिस्तान में, पाकिस्तान, इंडिया, बांग्लादेश, हमारे कंट्रीज में स्टार पावर प्लेज अ वेरी बिग रोल. नॉट एज बिग एज इन द वेस्ट. In our cultures, star power, because we worship our stars, our cricketers, our anchors, news anchors, our celebrities, our fashion models. They're really, really looked up upon. So they play a huge part in influencing. Similarly, the story also has a very strong part to play. You take a superstar and you put them in a stupid film. Sorry, excuse my language, but you put them in a stupid film and they look stupid no matter how good looking or no matter how beautiful they are. So I think it's a merger of the two. But in our regions, stars play a big role, a very, very big role. अगर आप इंडिया को देख लें तो I mean आप काजोल को डाल लें या शाहरुख खान को डाल लें, you'll be sold out. Similarly, we have some stars in our country that have insane buying power. Insane. I don't want to take any stars' names because I don't want to come off looking like I'm favoring any stars. But I'll talk about big commercial brands. When you use a big star, okay, I'll name it because it's positive. When you use a Hania Amir or when you use a Kubra, the brand does do well. They have that pull. They have that Gen Z vibe going for them. So why not? Brands should absolutely leverage it.
Acha, speaking of Gen Z, obviously, people who are calling the shots are probably not very much in tune with what Gen Z wants. Take our government for example. They're still operating in the 80s wala mindset. Gen Z kahin aur hai. There's a huge disconnect that you see in the country. Now, speaking in the brand side, how good do you think brands are understanding the Gen Z mindset?
So that's my job. My job is to do the research, do the homework, speak to them, do a sampling, do a dipstick, derive the insights, and show them what the market is saying. Showing them that lens is my job. So if they are not listening to them, it's probably my fault. Now, I've missed something in my... So I don't blame the brand there. That's the PR and the marketing's job to do the dipsticks and the insights and provide the right kind of insights to the brand.
What's a dipstick?
We'll do a random search, a random survey. So BBPR has put together a university leg where we have associated with kids across all universities in Pakistan.
Okay.
So if I want to very quickly understand something, for example, I want to find out कि यार आजकल क्या वो ऐसी clothing चीज़ है जो hit हुई है. अब वो मुझे तो नहीं पता. I'm almost 40 now, and what I wear is not necessarily what a 21-year-old guy or girl would want to wear. So we'll roll out a brief to all these kids, and all of them, like recently, all these kids said, we want a fanny pack. We're all into fanny packs nowadays. And I remember back about 20 years ago when fanny packs was in, I used to make fun of people who used to wear fanny packs because I was like, this is so pendu and why are people wearing this? Okay, why are people? But fanny packs are back in, guys.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, or whether I like it or not, is indifferent because the Gen Z are into it. So finding out what the new trends are, what the new, whether it's fashion, food, food mixtures, whether it's whatever, any category. What are the new cars that people are loving? Or what are the aspirational phones now? Yes, for a Gen Z, an iPhone or a Samsung might be too expensive. So what is the phone that they're looking for? And what are the services or the features that phone provides? So this we do through dipsticks.
Interesting you mentioned the fanny pack because मैंने कल ही एक reel देखी और उसमें ये था कि people these days are following this trend called Gorp Core. GORP and core, as in hardcore, softcore. So Gorp Core is basically...
Sounds dirty.
It does sound dirty, but it's actually the same thing that you mentioned. जैसे आजकल आप देख रहे होगे, especially if you watch reels of New York or LA, people are wearing really baggy things.
Oversized, yeah.
Oversized, baggy. जैसे Billie Eilish जिस तरह की चीज़ें पहनती है, and then like, accessorizing it with a fanny pack or something. So it's called Gorp Core, and people are really into it these days.
So, very unfortunately, I'm sidetracking a little bit. My 13-year-old daughter, she is a Billie Eilish fan. So she has been wearing everything and dressing the way Billie Eilish is and wants to dye her hair that way. And we are just not being able to digest it very well. But yes, no, I understand. But yes, so coming back to the point being that at the end of the day, it has to be insight driven and do your homework, do your due diligence. This could not be a marketing plan for an FMCG brand cannot be made in a closed room.
Yeah.
It needs to be made with everybody and especially the TG in mind.
Yeah. अच्छा ये बताएं कि जैसे अभी आपने बात की your 13-year-old daughter is like replicating Billie Eilish. How much influencing plays a role in sort of changing your mindset or changing your attributes towards the thing? Does it really work?
Everything.
Hannah?
Everything. I'll be honest. I'm a 39-year-old CEO. I'm quite set in my ways, but even I am influenced. When I watch my travel influencer post a new venue, I am just like, okay, that's where I'm going next. When I see an influencer taking an airline and talking about something. So travel, obviously I'm a maturer age. So for me, travel is a very big thing. Fashion. The influencers, I'm going to say this out loud because my wife makes a lot of fun of me. The influencers I follow mostly are French. And in Paris Fashion Week this year, men were wearing these chokers in pearls. And it's become the new thing. So I went and I bought it. And when I bought it, she was like, is this for me? And I said, no, this is for me. And she said, no, this is not for you. This is for me. Okay. But the truth is that influencer influenced me to go buy this ridiculously priced chain, which technically a man should not be wearing in the first place.
Did you wear it though?
I wore it and I posted 2 reels on it and I got a lot of comments and a lot of hate on it.
I gotta see that.
But yeah, but I liked it and I wanted to wear it. But for every age, I think younger, obviously it's understood that the younger you are, the more influenced you can get. And the older you get, the less influenced you get because you get more set in your ways. But nevertheless, at every age, if you pick up the right influencer, I can influence anybody to do anything. You are a very big role model for a lot of people. If you start sipping a particular kind of coffee, I know that people will start to convert. And that's the power of influencers. Is it scary and is it manipulative? That's another question for another day. But it is true, which is why brands are so conscious about what kind of people they're taking, what are they saying, is everything being ethical and being said in the right tonality. Are we crossing any boundaries? So on and so forth.
Okay, Hasan, ye bataye, what are the industry red flags, especially for brands?
Okay, so immediately anything controversial. As soon as they get controversial, I will red flag it to the brand. If there's any fight that broke out, if there's any argument that's public, if there's any dirty laundry being divorces.
Tell me about that.
Immediately, if some rumor starts going around about celebrity divorces, mostly I know most of them. So I usually know when something is about to happen. Not always, but मुझे एक inclination, एक tweety bird आके कान में बता जाता है. So when that happens, yes, I red flag it immediately. Abuses, anything that's culturally unacceptable, wearing too revealing clothes, anything religion related, I will immediately red flag it. There's a very little tolerance for it, and hona bhi chahiye. It is our country is made on that basis. So yes, these are the red flags.
Which has been your most favorite campaign so far? जो आपने की और आपको मजा आया हो कि यार I did it, man.
So many, too many to be honest. Let's name a few. My favorite campaign, Abhi, because वो अभी live हुआ है, is the 7-Up Sapphire campaign. इस scale पे, इस level पे कभी कोई merchandising campaign नहीं हुई है. So I'm very excited about that.
I really like the merch though.
Thank you very much.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
It's very, very exciting. And all the international partners have asked for the merch. So the 7-Up merch that's developed in Pakistan is actually going to international markets.
Really?
It's a very, very big win for the PepsiCo team. A big congratulations to them. And honestly, I can't thank them enough for making this dream come true. Besides that, another one that's a really big one for us was Cornetto Connect. Cornetto Connect was a very smart platform. What we said was, let's take the best influencers on the best platforms and let's create a platform to announce our new flavors. So every year, Cornetto launches a new flavor.
Really?
Yes.
ये कब हुआ?
This year we did Cornetto Connect 2.
अच्छा मैं हमेशा chocolate ही लेता हूँ ना, so I don't even bother कि और fridge में रखा क्या है.
There's lots of really yummy flavors. I will actually have them sent to you.
That would be nice.
So we launched caramel and vanilla, then we launched brownie, then we launched coffee. So every year we use the influencers to actually curate content around the new flavor. That's another really big one for us. Obviously, the campaigns that we do around causes are very close to our hearts because they talk about either special needs or they talk about differently abled kids, or they talk about women rights, or they talk about equality, or they talk about giving back to society, or they talk about teaching children good habits. So these campaigns जो होते हैं ये बहुत I feel like they have a high sentimental value, high emotional value. हमें भी बहुत पसंद आते हैं और उसका feedback भी बहुत अच्छा आता है. So those kind of campaigns I feel like become very near and dear to us and become one of those memorable campaigns.
I'm sure. Obviously, you can't answer this on cam. Which are the most difficult influencers to work with?
Okay,
let's not name anyone. Why sometimes it becomes really difficult to work with influencers?
So influencers, I think on the most part follow the brief. I think with celebrities, I feel like they should invest more time and effort into their content for celebrities. Because celebrities, yes, their claim to fame is drama, but also their imagery is equally important. So what they're putting out on their handles, Instagram or ya Facebook or ya jo bhi ho, be mindful of it because you are a star at the end of the day. So put more effort into it.
वो गंदी वो सेल्फी कैम से और पीछे गंदी सी लाइट है और उसमें
मेरा ये होता है कि यार I mean you're charging so much money, you're doing a brand endorsement, दिल लगा के कर लो, अच्छी तरह कर लो. मेरा ये होता है आपकी इमेजरी के लिए भी अच्छा है, ब्रांड की इमेजरी के लिए भी अच्छा है. Doing a basic shout out and all of that, it's very 1942, it's very dead, it's very old. Please don't do it. I don't want to attach my name to it when it's such a simple, basic, Dada Azam के time का campaign. Nobody wants to watch it. उसकी कोई engagement भी नहीं आती है. आपकी value भी degrade होती है, brand की भी होती है. So that's what I would say for celebrities. For influencers, I think they've really changed the game. I think some influencers have come and they've really started to curate their content, which is so fun, so exciting. Everybody wants to see it. I want to be a part of that campaign somehow or the other. उनमें influencers में problem अगर आती है तो then I would say sometimes over branding पे आती है. which, to be honest, I'm also pushing back on the brand sometimes. But sometimes it's very basic. If it's a brand and they need a consumption shot, come on, you need to put in a consumption shot. If you think a consumption shot is not looking good, then you are an influencer. You tell me how you want to put in the consumption shot. Give me the creative idea for it. No problem. If I speak on behalf of the brand, we are more than willing to be open to how you think it'll look good on your platform. Then you suggest. But come on, at the end of the day, it is a branded piece of content. You will need to put a consumption shot in it.
How difficult is it to work with? चलो MNCs का तो हमें पता है. They're very understanding and they understand the business.
They have proper SOPs, yes.
How difficult is it to work with the Sethiyas, Seth companies?
I don't have any Setia companies at all.
Why? Tell us why.
I've had very bad experiences with them. And I'll be straight up कि सेठ को एक एक्ट्रेस पसंद है तो वो एक्ट्रेस को ले लें आप. That will not fly with me. I will not allow that. That is a reflection of my campaign. It's a reflection of something we have put together. If your brand is about a homely, beautiful girl next door, a gharelu ladki, then we will advise you of the influencer that reflects that brand perfectly. Whether it's an actress, an influencer, a fashion model, a cricketer, a YouTuber, a news anchor, our job is to tell you who fits correct. And we will back it up with evidence, with engagement rates, quality scores, all of it. We will give you the stats behind it. हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कि हमें ये पसंद है. ये जो लफ्ज़ है ना कि हमें ये पसंद है, this is a very Setia mentality. कि यार ये बॉस को पसंद है तो इसको डाल देते हैं कैंपेन में. That's where I started to say कि यार ये क्या हो रहा है? This is not okay. You need to put the influencer or the face who actually matches the brand values. That's what my problem was working with Setia. Luckily, I've had very few experiences working with Setia companies. And the ones that do want to work with us, by all means, I'm willing to come on board as long as there's a certain SOP and working mechanism that's put into place.
What has your experience been working with TikTokers?
Oh, fun. Oh, fun. I think TikTokers are so fun. They create really, yes, some of it is mindless. I agree. And recently we've actually just signed an agreement with TikTok GCC, where we have become their official content partners.
Nice.
And we'll be curating content with them because of our relationship with TikTokers in Pakistan, because of the campaigns we've been rolling out. It's one of Pakistan's fastest growing platform. It is also, recently I went to the US and I had the privilege of going to the Apple and the Google and the Facebook offices and the TikTok offices, and I got to see where TikTok is heading, and TikTok is actually taking over the world. Even in the US, usually we see Western trends क्या हो रहे हैं और वो कुछ सालों के बाद पाकिस्तान में और हमारे regions में आना शुरू करते हैं. But TikTok is growing crazy in the US, and so is in Pakistan. So it's a platform that's here to stay. It's not going anywhere.
But like, so as an influencer, I'll tell you, around COVID time, TikTokers had taken over a lot of businesses, a lot of business from YouTubers, influencers. वजह कि एक पेप्सी को तो पेप्सी बेचनी है ना. अब पेप्सी कराची में भी लोग पीते हैं, गुजरावाला में भी पीते हैं, हर जगह पीते हैं, राइट? और उनको अगर एक टिकटॉक के अराउंड एक इवेंट करना है, सो इट्स नॉट गोना कॉस्ट देम मच. और टिकटॉकर्स लाइक दे वुडंट नो हाउ टू प्राइस देम, और वो बड़े सस्ते में मिल जाते थे और एंगेजमेंट क्रेजी. 10-10 मिलियन व्यूज़ हैं. तो बहुत सारे ब्रांड ने सोचा यार क्या ज़रूरत है इतने पैसे दे के यूट्यूबर्स देने की जब हमें टिकटॉक मिल जाते हैं. बट लेटर ऑन फिर जब टिकटॉक पे बैन लगा और फिर लाइक जिस तरह का उसमें कंटेंट आ रहा था और फिर जो एक पब्लिक परसेप्शन बन गया अराउंड टिकटॉकर्स, तो ब्रांड्स फिर दोबारा स्विच हुए टुवर्ड्स यूट्यूबर्स एंड इंस्टाग्रामर्स. डू यू एग्री विद दैट? दिस इज द ट्रेंड दैट आई हैड ऑब्जर्व्ड. आप क्या कहते हो?
I think both of them carry their own value. It really depends from brand to brand. YouTubers are storytellers. YouTubers put in a lot of work into telling a story, creating a narrative. It's like producing a film. while TikTokers are creating bite-sized content, which is consumable, but it's very short-form content. YouTubers have the advantage of having a long-term attention span. There's a lot of more opportunity when it comes to YouTube. It's also more quality content. So a YouTuber would create a content piece that you'd want to show internationally, that you'd want to display in your campaign all over the world. While TikToker content is very, most of it is very challenges, dance-oriented, small, again, bite-sized content. So if you were to ask me to value one or the other, they both have their own merit. And depending on the brand and the objective of the brand, it really depends which kind of platform seems better for it.
Speaking of dances, Bodybeat is named because body beats.
Yeah.
And you've been, are you dancing?
No, I'm not. I'm really just enjoying dance now because I want to be associated. I don't want to completely leave it, but I'm not taking any dance projects, not doing any choreography. Mostly because I don't have the time for it, I'll be honest. That's the most reason. And the second reason is that I don't want to sound arrogant, but I've really done it all. Give me something that's new. Give me something that's fresh. I've done all the award shows. I've done all the TVCs. I've done all the dramas. I've done the movies. So bring something new. If you're creating a dance platform in New York and partnering up with New York Dance Academy, I'd love to be a part of it. I've represented Pakistan in the US, in the UK, in GCC. I've done tours. I've danced alongside choreographers for Janet Jackson. I've done a lot in dance. So if you give something new, something exciting, yes, by all means. But right now, PR is really draining the life out of me. So I really don't have the opportunity.
How did you transition from dance to PR?
Honestly, I know it's going to sound very spiritual or very religious, but I feel God sort of led the way for me. I was actually doing events back in the day. And during an event, PepsiCo had asked me कि आप ये event कर रहे हैं, आप इसकी PR भी कर दें. This is about 15 years ago. When I said, but मुझे तो आता ही नहीं है कुछ PR में. But they said, नहीं आप तो बहुत लोगों को जानते हैं, आप सबको जानते हैं, आप ही कर लें. तो I said, okay, चले हम try मारते हैं. And that's how it started. And I did my first PR event. It was a raging success. It was the launch of Burger King and Pepsi's collaboration in Pakistan.
Oh, nice.
So, एक तो अल्लाह मियाँ ने इतना बड़ा platform दे दिया, इतने बड़े नाम दे दिए to do a PR. And then from there, it just escalated, and people started approaching us, and we started approaching new brands, and word started to spread, and it just one thing after the other, and now we're standing here today.
Hasan, tell me, how is Bodybeat different from 432 agencies that are operating in Karachi?
Passion. I feel what we bring to the table is passion, and you'll see that when you sit in when we are presenting our plans. And this is something I tell every teammate who comes to my office and presents a plan to me. कि यार अगर तुम मुझे नहीं दिखा सकते excitement, तो फिर नहीं लेकर आओ plan मेरे पास. Because you have to feel that jazba, that excitement, that wow. You know what I love about presenting plans is seeing the client's expression when I'm presenting that plan. That they think, yaar, ye pagal hai. This guy's crazy. He really, really wants to do something. And every campaign, mera ye hota hai कि we do not want to do cookie cutter. I don't want to take every campaign. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not taking every campaign, even if it's a big campaign. But do a campaign that I want to attach my name to and say कि यार ये मेरा campaign था. That I ask them, every person for my client services, कि यार, would you put this on your resume? Or would you be excited about putting this on your resume? If you are proud and if you are going to say, yes, I did this campaign, that's when this campaign is going to go through. And it's going to show. It's going to show when you're rolling out this campaign. The excitement, the enthusiasm. And that's what we like to bring to our campaigns. I know it's very easy to say, creative ideas and creative concepts. But yeah, I feel till you don't, number one, you need to be impressed by the campaign yourself. Number two, I tell them, don't think about the client. Think about me. If you can see stars in my eyes when I'm talking about this campaign, or when you're talking about this campaign, that's when you have a campaign that's going to excite people. That's when you have a campaign that's going to build talkability. And I think that's what's different, is that we don't make campaigns that are just, oh, Instagram पे ये कर लेते हैं, Facebook पे ये कर लेते हैं, TikTok पे ये कर लेते हैं. No. हम ये कहते हैं कि यार TikTok पे ऐसा campaign हो कि मुझे खुद, I want to be a part of it, even if I'm not the TG. Instagram पे, YouTube पे, I want to consume the content. I want to watch Junaid Akram say this or do this or be this or go there or find this. And that's where the excitement level comes. And it transcends. You see it when the client reacts to the pitch. You see it when the campaign starts rolling out, the content starts coming out. And even the influencers. I feel like one thing that we constantly get from the influencers is also, you guys are crazy. Where do you guys come up with this shit from? And that's the beauty. And that's what I think differentiates us, is that we want to be excited. Forget the client. If you are excited, if you are bringing that level of enthusiasm and passion, I have never sat down and presented a plan in my life. I will get up. Why I get up is because I get so excited that I need to use my hands, I need to show the room, I need to walk around, I need to tell people कि यार ये भी हो सकता है और ये होगा और फिर ये होगा, and then we'll do this and we'll do that, and these are the kind of people involved. And I see them light up. I see them think, oh my God, this was such a boring idea that these guys are now making so interesting. And also I feel like the element of leveraging on entertainment is a forte that we have. We understand entertainment, drama, acting, singing, music, art, graffiti, painting, YouTubers, skaters. We understand art. We understand creativity. And finding the merger between creativity and branding is what makes a good PR campaign, in my opinion.
What would you change about the digital and creative sphere that exists in Pakistan right now, if you were to change anything about it?
The negativity. The negativity. There's a lot of negativity, and we pull our stars down. We pull our influencers down, and it embarrasses me. I feel ashamed to see stars of that level, of any level. Our cricketers, our news anchors, our actors, our influencers. These guys are all working for you. They're working for the Pakistani market. They're all of them in their own right. Most of them are doing something good for the country. They're doing something good for the society. They're doing something good for themselves. Fake or not, that's another conversation. But the truth is that they're all doing good work. So, yeah, I mean, look at Hollywood stars, look at Bollywood stars. Do you see their countries tear them down? No. We tear down our stars. And crossing a line. Please do not cross a line. Do not talk about someone's children. Do not talk about someone's home. Do not talk about someone's personal space. Yes, they are public property. They are public property. Not their children, not their families, not unke ghar mein kya ho raha hai. So, butt out of it. It's none of your business. And I appreciate if people just stop thinking that it's their business. These are just some things that really, really, I just turn a blind eye to it now, to be honest. And I'm not talking about myself. I'm not an influencer or a celebrity, but I'm talking about others. When I see someone trying to do something good, I saw a celebrity post a picture of himself kissing his son. And it was a beautiful moment. It was just a moment between a father and a kid. And I don't think that people should have really torn him or his family down the way they did. It was very hurtful to see people say things like that. It's just a moment between a father and a child. I mean, everyone who's a father will understand what was the thought behind that. So if there's something I would change the mentality to tear our stars down. As opposed to that, I would say, yaar, we have stars in our country who are the most talented people in the world. Please praise them, appreciate them, and give them the compliment, the stardom, the value, the prestige, the stage they deserve.
Thank you. That's a wonderful thought.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure, go ahead.
What do you agree with my point about this?
Absolutely. In fact, मैं कल वो शे गिल का एक प्रोमो चल रहा है कोक स्टूडियो का, राइट?
Yes.
अभी मैं फ्लाइट पे लाइक जहाज उड़ने से पहले इट केम अक्रॉस ऑन माय न्यूज़ फीड. उसमें कोई 17-18 कमेंट थे. उसमें से 11 कमेंट वर लाइक जस्ट हेटिंग हर. एंड मैं उन सब की प्रोफाइल में गया कि व्हाट देयर अबाउट. कोई गिलगित में टीचर है, कोई कहाँ पे क्या है. एंड आई एम लाइक यार ये लोग टीचर हैं, ये माइंड मेकिंग कर रहे हैं इस नेशन की. उनकी अपनी हालत देखो फॉर नो रीज़न. कोई उसके मेकअप को कुछ कह रहा है, कोई उसकी आवाज़ का मजाक उड़ा रहा है. क्या मुझे समझ नहीं आती वेयर डज इट कम फ्रॉम. ऑल्सो आई वांट टू आस्क यू बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव ऑब्जर्व्ड. ख़ास तौर पे बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली यू वर्क विद सेलिब्रिटीज़. ख़ास तौर पे जो फीमेल सेलिब्रिटीज़ हैं उनके इंस्टाग्राम का जो कमेंट सेक्शन है इट्स फिल्दी. एंड नॉट जस्ट बाय मेन बट ऑल्सो बाय वुमेन.
Yes.
Why do you think that happens? Like moral policing throughout. अगर हानिया लंदन में उसने अगर स्कर्ट पहना है या कोई टर्की में कोई फोटो शूट करा रही है, this and that, it's just filthy.
So that's a very complicated question. Where is the hate coming from? I wish I could shed more light on this, but there's definitely a lot of frustration which they're taking out on digital because they have no other place to take it out, to feel heard. And I feel the channeling is wrong. I feel that if you're frustrated because of your economic situation, your social situation, your family situation, voice it out on those platforms,
basically,
as opposed to hating on people who have nothing to do.
Who you might never meet
exactly.
in your life.
So I just feel where the negativity is coming from, I wish I could answer that question. And I wish I could. But I want to tell you something. I've been thinking about this for a really long time. And now that I have you, I will actually pull you in for this as well. I actually wanted to do a campaign, a completely non-branded campaign, which will be using people like you, as powerful as you, in this campaign to talk about changing tonality on digital. That if you want to comment something negative or if you have some criticism, we train and we teach people how to criticize. Because we have to be open to criticism. And people should feel like agar unko gaana nahi pasand aa raha, no problem. I understand that it's a piece of art. Not everyone will love the song. Not everyone will like the skirt. Not everyone will like the sunglasses, right? And you have the right to make a comment because yes, these guys are public personalities. But माँ बहन की गालियाँ देना या उसके बच्चे पे आ जाना या उसकी माँ बाप की बात करना या उसकी अपब्रिंगिंग पे बात करना, ये सब ये कहाँ where the are these things coming from? This is a very dark and negative space that this is coming from. And this needs to be stopped. And we need people like you who are powerful, whose voices have a platform to actually spread this message. That yes, you have the right to criticize. And yes, you have the right to, if you have something negative to say, even that is all right. But how to say it, where the lines are drawn, I feel like we have to educate our market.
हमें ना डिसएग्री भी नहीं करना सिखाया जाता. सो आई एम हैप्पी टू आंसर लाइक जैसे आपने भी कहा इट्स अ पीस ऑफ आर्ट. सो सिमिलरली मेरी हर वीडियो हर किसी को पसंद नहीं आएगी. There will always be people के यार नहीं ये ऐसे नहीं वैसे था.
You can't please everyone.
Yeah, and I'm happy to address that and I'm happy to have a dialogue on this. But अगर तुम बात ही शुरू करोगे OBC या ओ गंजे, I'm not going to listen to you. मैं बात ही नहीं करूँगा because आपका टोन ही गलत है. तो जिसकी टोन ऐसी है फिर उससे बंदा क्या ही बात करे.
नहीं, and what do they think? Do they think it's not hurtful? Do they think the person has देखें, every celebrity, every influencer, I'll put it out there, they're reading. You may not think that someone is reading, but when you're putting down a comment there, someone is reading it. And that's hurtful. And what are you getting out of hurting somebody? It makes no sense. If you feel emotional about something, write it in a constructive fashion. And I guarantee you that person, the next time they're going to do a post, they will be mindful of it. लड़कियों को देख लें. If a girl gets a bad comment on something she's worn, I know for a fact that that girl will be conscious. Okay, yaar, I don't want to show the skin, or I don't want to wear this, or I don't want to, this is assumed to be whatever. not acceptable, she will make that change. But if you start, like you said, with maa behan ki galiyan, you're going to get nowhere. You're just going to offend people and pull your stars down. I don't see what's the point of it. There's no point.
Do you have any example, and you don't have to name, but any celebrity, any influencer you personally know and like you're in, close contact with, who actually broke down because of the comments? Yeah, they were like mentally disturbed, like really disturbed.
A lot. And not just girls, guys also. Where they go through, they're going through a divorce, and reactions of the market has been very personally attacking their family, their children, their parents. Yes, I do feel that some influencers and celebrities share too much. So yes, that's also their bad. कि इतना share ही ना करो. Don't put so much out there. अपनी personal life को थोड़ा सा personal रखो. कुछ अपने दिमाग में guidelines रखो कि this is allowed, this isn't allowed. I have a very small profile, लेकिन मेरे profile में I post a lot about my children, for example. And my wife started to have a problem with it because she started to say that people in school, people are reacting or commenting positively. But she said, I don't think I am comfortable with this. And if you
Any
want,
light, either positive or negative.
yes, I feel like if you want to put yourself out there, that is your choice. My wife doesn't take pictures. She doesn't come to media. She doesn't come to events. People don't even know I'm married, right? Which is fine. That's her choice,
Okay.
right? But I want to put myself out there. I enjoy it. It's something that I do like an extracurricular. But she has a problem with me putting out too much of my kids' content, which is fair. Same thing goes. So it's a two-way street. Influencers and celebrities should be mindful about what they're putting out there. Keep your private life private. And viewers should also be warned about what is crossing a line and what isn't.
Do you also think or believe that a lot of or some of the influencers or celebrities, they post something janbooch ke because they want attraction?
The attention?
Haan.
Yes, of course.
है ना?
Of course. There's so many celebrities out there who do it and they get the attention and they're amazing at it. Meera ji being on the top of that list. Come on, man. She posts something and I want to watch it. I want to watch it because she is thoroughly entertaining. Very dear friend of mine. Does some really, really fun, crazy things. And people love her for it. I'll be honest. People consume that content like crazy. I don't want to say her age, but I think everybody knows. But still, you'll see kids watching her. You'll see TikTokers following her trends. Things she does becomes viral, becomes a trend. ट्रेंड होना शुरू हो जाते हैं लोग उनके वॉइस ओवर्स पे टिकटॉक्स बनाना शुरू कर देते हैं. शी इज़ अ वायरल सेंसेशन एंड इट्स समथिंग शी थ्राइव्स ऑन एंड इट्स समथिंग द कंट्री थ्राइव्स ऑन. सो व्हाई नॉट? इफ यू कैन यूज इट टू योर एडवांटेज यू शुड.
अच्छा, अभी जैसे आपने बात की कि यू लाइक टू पोस्ट पिक्चर्स ऑफ योर सन एंड योर वाइफ नॉट बीइंग कंफर्टेबल अराउंड इट. देयर आर सम सेलिब्रिटीज like who take us through their entire pregnancy and the baby shower and this and that, ye went, and then like फिर baby का अपना Instagram account होता है.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I think it's a very smart move.
It's
a very smart move. I think these guys are making their kids' profiles from the age that they're born. By the time that they're at an age where they can actually start posting and actually comprehend the importance of social media, they'll have such a big following. They'll be the Miley Cyrus. They'll be the
But we all know what happened to Miley Cyrus. I mean,
Miley Cyrus right now, I agree, the depression and the anxiety and all of that, like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
I mean, but at this age, by the time they become 17, 18, they're so iconic. They're such big stars that...
What if they didn't want to be a star and they're like, my parents used me? Like a lot of these child artists, they go into depression because they didn't consent for it. They were not at the right age and their parents manipulated them or like used their fame. Home Alone वाले बच्चे की example है. What's his name? Macaulay Culkin की एग्जाम्पल है. lots of Disney stars. हाँ, टर्मिनेटर वाला बच्चा था. Amanda Banks? Bynes. Or lots of these Disney kids, like even Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling तो.
So I can't.
क्या? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Emma Chotu.
Emma Chotu, right?
He's such a cute kid. Okay, so I can't comment on everybody. I'll comment on my own kid. Okay. My daughter, mashallah, she turned 13 this year. And from the age of about 10, she started singing. And when she hum games khelte, I play games with my kids, just how I, bond with them. And games में हम एक गेम खेलते थे, talent show. उसमें एक दिन उसने गाया, and जब उसने गाया, I took out my phone and I made a video and I sent it to my sister and my mom, both unbelievable singers. And they both were like, holy crap, what is this? And मैं उसको लेके गया अपनी बाजी के पास और अम्मी के पास, and वो नहीं गा पाई. She was not able to sing. She sang in front of me, but she wasn't being able to sing in front of them. At that point, I was like, I'm going to push her. But I will push her to whatever level she is comfortable with. It took me 3 years of patience and waiting, because I believe if you have a talent, the world should see it. But that doesn't mean that that's what she believes. So I had to wait 3 years till she turned about 13. And this year, she said, Baba, I want to record a song. And it made all the bells and horns and everything ring in my life, because I was like, okay, this is a dream come true for me. So we went into a studio and we actually recorded her first song.
Nice.
How much will I put her in the public eye is something I am still contemplating with her mom. Will we make a platform for her? Will we make her Instagram page? Will we make her TikTok page? Will it be public? Will it be private? How much access to Instagram will we give her? Will I make the Instagram account and have complete control over it? Will she have some control over it? Etc., etc. So these are all things that as parents, and parents have different ways of thinking and different ways of raising. Right now, I'm still in the process of thinking if this is an age where I can make her go public, because will she be ready? My sister became a sensation at the age of 15. She took it like no star I've ever seen in my life. उस ज़माने में सिर्फ PTV and STN होता था.
Yeah, we're talking about Komal Rizvi, by the way.
Yes, and when she would step out of the house, people would rush to tear down the car. मुझे याद है एक दिन हम निकले. She was wearing a complete burqa. You could only see her eyes. And a girl on the street, we were at Funland. अगर उस ज़माने में Funland होता था, एक bowling alley होती थी. हम bowling कर रहे थे. मैं, my sister and my brother, just us three. And one woman recognized her. हम गाड़ी के अंदर जब तक घुसे, पूरी गाड़ी के ऊपर, there were about 100 women on top of the car.
What did they want?
They just wanted कि किसी तरह they touch her.
Okay.
Right? And my brother, being super protective, my brother grabbed her, threw her in the car, closed the car, we locked the doors, and they were all over the car. That kind of stardom I've not seen. Abhi, it doesn't exist anymore, that kind of stardom.
क्योंकि बहुत common हो गया. There's so many stars.
अब तो there's a lot of stars, and अब तो platforms भी इतने आ गए. उस ज़माने में 5 stars होते थे सिर्फ, and वही stars हमारे stars होते थे, right? And she took it. I forgot my train of thought. What was the question again?
She was 15 and she became a star, and she took it
so
well.
at that volatile age, she took. I don't know why, but she took becoming a star. She took it very humbly. Maybe because of my father. My father always, जब भी हम थोड़ा सा भी अपने आप को कुछ समझने लगते हैं ना, he grabs us and smashes us on the floor and says, only Allah. Right? And this is something he does every time we have achieved something. You know, when we won the FE Awards, my dad said, Sajde mein giro. When I made my first company, he said, Sajde mein giro. He said, every time we try to, just thoda sa wo bol de ki beta, you've done something good, or you've won an award, or you've been recognized, or you've won this or won that. He grabs us smashes us on the ground and says, only Allah beta. Because at the end of the day, today you might have a win, tomorrow you might not. And that's how he's trained us. So the fame that my sister saw, she digested very well. Despite all the BPL, Channel V, इंडिया में रिलीज करना अपना गाना, अमिताभ के साथ एक एपिसोड कर लेना, शाहरुख खान के साथ बैठना, माधुरी के साथ बैठना, फेम नेवर गॉट टू हर. I never saw it कि वो बिगड़ जाए in any way at all. That's not easy. वो उनकी एक ये खूबी थी कि उन्होंने स्टारडम को इतने gracefully digest किया. A 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old kid, it's very difficult for them to digest it. So right now for me, that's the most important thing, that my child should remain humble, should remain kind, should remember that at the end of the day, Allah Mia has sent us to help other people. And if you are in that position, then by all means, may Allah make you a star, or may Allah make you whoever you want to be. But I just feel like it's a very tough question that you've asked. But are people doing it? Yes. Should people do it? I also think yes. छोटी उम्र से उनको अगर आप एक वो स्टार के उस रास्ते में लेके जाने लगे, and then when they become 15, they may say, I don't want to become an actor, or I don't want to become a singer, and they can close all their accounts. Tomorrow, everyone will forget them. No problem. It's going to happen.
Do you think people can forget Ahmed Chotu? Like if he decides to, let's say he turns 15 and he's like, what have I been doing? I don't want this life. I don't like the attention. I'm a private kid. I'm a shy kid.
He will be forgotten. Macaulay Culkin, where have you seen him? I don't even recognize him. If now when I see his pictures,
yeah, that's because he underwent a lot of drug issues.
No, what I'm trying to say is today if I saw him, if he came in front of me, I would not know who he is.
You will.
Abhi recently I saw a picture of his. वो जो Instagram पे videos नहीं आती before and after की, वो एक video आई थी जिसमें वो कुछ होता है कि भी बच्ची थी, a lot of these stars, and I couldn't recognize them because then they dropped off the face of the earth. So then it's their choice. If they don't want to pursue it, they don't. But उनके माँ बाप ने उनको एक platform दिया. So I think it's a very smart move. You're giving your kid a platform. Your kid can choose not to take the platform if they want. That's their decision. But your parents are paving the way for superstars.
How do you see the future of TV? In this digital age that we're in, do you think TV is going to be relevant in the next 5 or 10 years?
I think it will for 2 major reasons. Drama. Our dramas are amazing. Our dramas are watched all over the world. They're watched in Canada, they're watched in Australia, they're watched in London, UK, Dubai.
But they're being watched widely on YouTube.
Yes.
TV पे अब नहीं देखते लोग. My mom सारे काम करके फिर रात में बैठती हैं YouTube में, अपनी मर्जी के अपने टाइम से देखती हैं.
You would be shocked to see Hum TV's ratings in the US.
I know.
You would be shocked to see. Hum TV is someone who made that initiative. Where they first launched in the US many years ago. Sultana Appa is a visionary in my opinion. But yes, I agree. There's a huge audience that's watching it on YouTube, including my wife. Mera ye hota hai na, I can't come home and I can't see the same faces. Please ye band kar do. I can't see these faces anymore. But yes, there's a huge audience in Pakistan and outside that watches it on YouTube. इसलिए आप कोई भी ड्रामा का YouTube देखेंगे, उसके व्यूज देखेंगे, आंखें फट के हाथ में आ जाएंगे.
ट्रेलर के व्यूज मिलियंस में होते हैं.
It's insane. But similarly, TV पे भी लोग देख रहे हैं अभी भी. Also news. News is something, another conversation, but news also people are very actively still watching. And I mean through all age groups, through all regions, languages, Sindhi, Balochi, Saraiki, all languages. So I don't think TV is going anywhere. Will viewership decrease in the next 20 years? Yes, it will decrease massively.
Give us some celebrity tea.
What does that mean?
Give us some gossip.
Celebrity gossip.
What has been happening behind the cameras that we don't see?
Celebrity. Okay, I'll give you guys some stuff which I feel is kosher.
Sure.
I'll tell you guys some
non-kosher bhi chalega. YouTube.
So I'll tell you guys some things about my friends so that I'm safe.
Okay.
ताकि कोई मुझे गालियाँ नहीं दे. ये सब वो ऐसे लोग हैं जो मुझे माफ कर देंगे. Momal right now is in Islamabad and she's shooting her next project. It's a really big project. Very excited about that. My sister Komal is in Vegas. She's with her husband. They're there for a conference. Eman and Muneeb just had their second kid. Beautiful kid. Very excited. Can't wait to go meet them. Congratulations, guys. Kali mithai aayi hai unki. So gonna go see them soon. Who else can I give you updates on?
ये अपडेट्स तो हमें इंस्टाग्राम से मिल जाएंगी. गिव अस द स्कूप मैन. जो नहीं मिलेगा ये तो मुझे इंस्टाग्राम में भी पता चल जाएगा किसका कब बच्चा हुआ है और कौन कहाँ है. आई मीन लाइक डूड दिस इज नथिंग.
अच्छा, so I'm very against gossip actually. मुझे कोई आके देता है तो मैं उनको
give us something.
आधे घंटे का लेक्चर देता हूँ.
किसी शूट पे कुछ हुआ हो and like it really pissed you off, but obviously you couldn't do anything because they're a star. But like somebody who gave you a tough time or gave the shoot a tough time and you were like really not taking their
I know you will think
behavior.
that I'm making this up and I'm being diplomatically correct, but Alhamdulillah, the stars that I work with are very respectful of me and vice versa. ऐसा नहीं हुआ है. Really, there hasn't been a problem. Because जो stars मुझे बहुत शुरू of my in the beginning of my career that seemed very difficult to work with or were very उनके साथ हम काम ही नहीं करते हैं. So haven't really come across working with them because we just, if they don't want to work, if they're not interested in working, the one thing I can say is that now there are influencers and celebrities that will replace you. So be humble, be kind, do your work properly, do your work with passion, love and dedication. Because if you are on a high horse and if you think, oh my God, I got so many followers on Instagram, someone else does too. So the brand will replace you. If you are difficult to work with or if you are just a horrible person, you will be replaced.
अच्छा एक चीज़ बताएं, अब जैसे एक सेलिब्रिटी है, साल में उनके मैक्स टू मैक्स 2 ड्रामे आएंगे, 3 ड्रामे आएंगे या एक फिल्म आएगी, राइट? बट दे हैव टू स्टे रेलेवेंट थ्रू आउट द ईयर्स. डू यू थिंक आवर सेलिब्रिटीज they caught, they're catching up with the social media trends or they really understand the social media, या बस एक अकाउंट बना लिया और फिर मैंने बस दिखाना है कि मैं नाश्ते में मैं ये खा रही हूँ और शाम में मैं ये खा रही हूँ and that's
Some celebrities are amazing at it. Amazing. Aishomer, for example. She's so good. She will document her travels. She will document her food. She will document her fitness. She will document all the award shows, the Wembley, the tennis matches, soccer matches, Emirates, Dubai, Golden Visa. Everything. She will document it and it's fun. I enjoy watching her content. It's interesting. There are other celebrities, Muneeb Butt. He's hilarious on his social media. He's pranking people, cracking jokes, लोगों को तंग कर रहा है. I don't know if you know him well, but he's a prankster. वो hey, I mean, what I love about Muneeb is that वो किसी भी माहौल में आके ना उस माहौल को हल्का लाइट कर देगा. He has this खूबी, he has this personality where he makes you feel warm, he makes you feel welcome. He never makes any situation too serious, too confrontational. He's easy to work with. He's fun. Whenever my team goes to shoot a content with him, I see कि वो बस बैठे हुए हैं. And मेरा ये कि okay हो गया, just get done with it and come back, you know. But yeah, there's some people who really know their game really well. Muneeb's YouTube is doing really well. His Instagram though was doing very well वैसे ही. So some people really know how to capitalize and make money on these platforms. And they're smart. While some just don't do anything about it. They just put up a beautiful picture of them in the morning or a beautiful picture of them on a fashion shoot for a lawn. That's it. And मेरे ये होता है, this is not content. I mean, इससे बेहतर है आप ना डालो कोई चीज़. So a lot of celebrities don't know jack shit about platforms, while some are very smart about it.
Tell us your experience about working with cricketers.
I've worked with very few cricketers. Of course, I've worked with Shahid Afridi. I've worked with Shoaib Akhtar on one of my most prized campaigns. It was called Shoaib is Back. It was for Surf Excel. It was one of those campaigns that just blew out of proportion. हमने एक hashtag कराया था Twitter पे Shoaib भाई से where he tweeted hashtag Shoaib is back. We started getting calls from BBC UK, BBC Australia, cricketers, Australian cricketers, South African cricketers started posting uske niche, are you coming back to cricket?
Oh shit.
And it became so big, this campaign, that, you know, he started calling us and saying, सुनो मैं तो ad में वापस आ रहा हूँ, मुझे क्या बोलना है? Tell me what to say next. Because I'm getting a call from all these news channels and all these people, and it just blew out of proportion. It was one of those super successful campaigns that we did. But great person to work with, very easy to work with. Cricketers, I feel, in our country don't get the star value that they really should have because they're national icons. I feel like उनको जो अहमियत और जो grooming और जो forefront और जो media training है, I think that's missing, and that sort of hurts me because when I see a cricketer say something in English and it's incorrect, yeah, bad grammar or incorrectly curated, मेरा ये होता है यार, I wish I had 10 minutes with this guy. Because मैं इसको बोलता कि यार आपको उर्दू नहीं आती, आप नहीं बात करें उर्दू में, आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आती, आप नहीं बात करें, आपको क्या आता है, आपको सिंधी आती है, आप सिंधी में बात करें. अगर इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे आप बैठे हुए हैं, आप रिक्वेस्ट करें एक ट्रांसलेटर. Right? A translator should be standing. You're an international icon on an international platform. They should provide you a translator. If they don't provide you a translator, that's on them. Right? You do not feel the need to answer in any other language than your mother tongue. अब वो mother tongue आप उर्दू हो, great, आप उर्दू में जवाब दें. उर्दू नहीं है, सराइकी है, सिंधी है, पश्तो है, whatever the language is, reply in that. And that in itself says so much. If he was to reply in Sindhi or if he was to reply in Punjabi, I feel हर पंजाबी खड़े होके उसको post करता, उसको repost करता, उसको बोलता कि this is my language, this is my... And we are. Inside, we are all proud of our culture and our religion. And look at the language, look at the culture, look at our heritage. So rich. So I feel, in sab cheezon ki kami hai. I wish we could, put more training and invest more into our cricketers so that they have better, they put a better reputation of Pakistan out there because they are the one platform, one avenue जिसमें हमें पूरी दुनिया देख रही है और पूरी दुनिया हमें जज कर रही है. Dramas, yes, but limited audience in the sense that एक ऑस्ट्रेलियन नहीं देखता हमारे ड्रामे, राइट? या एक ब्रिटिशर नहीं देखता, उसको नहीं समझ में आ रहा उर्दू में क्या हो रहा है, या उसको स्टूपिड लग रहा है कि ये सास बहू की क्यों तू मैं हो रही है. Just move out, right? But with cricket, that's a platform that sports and arts is a platform that everybody understands, right? So I just wish that we invested more into our cricketers.
Like PCB अभी तक ये क्यों नहीं कर पाई? Like we see, अगर आप 10-15 साल पुराना कोहली देखें, he was very rowdy, very out there, but like with time, obviously he's matured as well, but like उसमें धीमापन भी आ गया. He's curating his tweets very nicely, politically correct and everything. लगता है कि उस पर काम हुआ, उस पर मेहनत हुई, इसकी ग्रूमिंग हुई है. हम लोग क्यों नहीं कर पाते ये?
इन्वेस्टमेंट में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट
हमारे सुपरस्टार्स टीवी पे जाके बोलते हैं कि औरतों को क्रिकेट नहीं खेलनी चाहिए, वो खाना पकाएं घर पे.
Yes, unfortunately.
Right.
Giving Kohli's example, he has an entire team. He has a team behind him. He has a public PR person. He has a stylist. He has a brand person. He has a concert. He has an appearance person. This team puts a lens together for him. His beard is sold to Gillette. So what his new beard style will be is curated for the next 3 years.
Really?
For the next 3 years, we know what his beard style is going to be. If it's Aishwarya Rai, her smile, her lipstick is sold for the next 3 years. So what's happening there is that they like this. You have a brilliant team that's putting. It's not one person. At the end of the day, it's a team. अगर मैं एक PR campaign बना रहा हूँ, मेरी एक पूरी टीम है. क्लाइंट सर्विसेज की है, एक स्ट्रैटेजी की है, एक क्रिएटिव की है, एक डिज़ाइन की है, फिर प्रोडक्शन टीम है, फिर मीडिया लिएजॉन है, फिर कॉपी राइटर्स हैं. There's a team that puts together a campaign for a brand. उसी तरह a brand could be a tissue box and the brand could be Junaid Akram. A brand is a brand at the end of the day. So that investment is missing. That team structure is missing. And some of the cricketers, I will say, have started to build teams, right? Wasim Bhai has a brilliant team.
Yeah.
Brilliant team.
Altaf would agree.
Right? He has a really, really good team, and his
Yeah.
team puts together, and he has a team for everything.
And you can see that. He's
Absolutely.
so nicely placed in different commercials, different activities. उनका CSR भी चल रहा है. You can see him around Citizens Foundation या फिर कोई कैंसर की campaign है.
Even events.
Yeah.
Even events. I'm
Yeah.
talking about social events.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sure,
it's very curated. Which events he'll be seen at, which events he won't be seen at. And I'm talking about social events. These are not events that are branded. All of these things have to be curated and well thought of. I cannot be seen at an event which would diminish my value or diminish my reputation in any way. There are some associations that I should have. If there's a TikTok conference happening in Pakistan, my face, Hasan Rizvi's face should be there, should be associated to that brand. Same thing, agar ek Rolex ki conference ho rahi hai, to Wasim Akram will look good in a Rolex. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things are investments, and that's missing.
Hasan, tell us, कौन-कौन से celebrity का क्या-क्या insured है?
I think
Ridiculously
Pakistan में कोई insurance नहीं है. We need to insure our stars. Mahira, you need to insure your smile. You have a beautiful smile. But I think Madhuri's smile is insured. Aishwarya Rai's eyes are insured. जो मुझे याद है. I may be wrong. One of the Kardashians' ass is insured, isn't it?
बनती भी है.
I agree. And Ronaldo का क्या कह रहे थे आप? Calves are insured. But these are global icons, man. इनका होना चाहिए insure. I mean, I'd insure my eyes or lips or smile if I was that famous.
I would insure what I want to be insured.
Let's leave it at
Tell
that.
us about the FE Awards.
FE Awards was amazing for us this year. We won 8 awards, mashallah. All for campaigns that we had put in a lot of blood and sweat into. It was very exciting. The funny part at the FE Awards this year was, हम mashallah हम एक award जीत के stage पे जाते, backstage जाते for the pictures, and जब तक वापस आते हमारा नाम दोबारा announce हो जाता. So people had started making fun of us कि तुम stage के side पे ही खड़े रहो. So me and my team, we just stayed on the side of the stage because mashallah. After the 4th, 5th time that we went up, we said, okay, you know what, let's just stand on the side. It was a very humbling moment. It was, again, I came home, I told my dad, I said, Abu, this year we won 8 awards. And he said, Sajde mein giro. And of course I did. But very thankful for the clients, for the love, for the appreciation, and for the people for liking the campaign.
There are some awards, I'm not going to name, उसमें ये होता है कि जो जितने ज़्यादा पैसे देगा उसको उतने ज़्यादा awards मिल जाएंगे. Do you think those awards exist? या ये काट दो सवाल.
ये तो so awards, I know कुछ awards पहले से decided होते हैं. A lot of times celebrity को रोपे नहीं इस award के साथ किया जाता है कि हम आपको best actor का दे देंगे, आप free में आ जाएं. So a lot of actors will come for free in that case. But there are some very legit awards as well still. I don't know if I should name or not, but Lux and Hum are 2 awards that are curated very well, seem very authentic to me, and are done in the fashion, in the style, and our stars are given the glamour they deserve, in my opinion.
Tell us about कभी-कभी ऐसा भी होता है ना कि like अगर for example you working for different brands और वो सारे soap category में काम कर रहे हैं, shampoo category में काम कर रहे हैं, conflict of interest होता है या you have to like give 2 other accounts away because you're working on this one?
So I believe in staying brand loyal, and we've been loyal since the beginning of our journey. If I pick up a brand in a soap category, I would like to stay with that brand till the end of time. And on the most part, we have stuck around. We have been working with Pepsi for the last 15 years. I started my career with Pepsi. So we've stuck with Pepsi. We understand their brands. We know what campaigns have happened throughout. We know their journey. We know their pain points, their insights, so on and so forth. So I think it's important to remain loyal And yes, when I do exclusivity, it means I will not touch a competing brand. It's very important, I feel, and it's a bit unethical. A lot of companies do it, but that's one thing, one reputation that BBPR has made over the years. कि अगर हम एक partner को उठाते हैं, we stay with that partner.
What's the future of BBPR? Are you guys, like you said, you like to be challenged and you hate monotony. This is what I've understood so far. So, where do we see BBPR in the next 10, 15 years? Or are you going to diversify your portfolio?
I want to be a global creative agency. We are opening shop in GCC very soon. It's under process. There's a lot of legalities and forms and stuff like that. But that's the next step. But I see ourselves in New York, and I see ourselves in London, and I see ourselves across the world. And I want to be a chain. I want to be an agency where the Unilevers of the world can come to, and we provide solutions to them, creative solutions to them. And I'd like it to be a global agency and a creative agency. So giving everything from digital to PR to creative to out of home to, that's the vision and that's the goal. And inshallah, that's where we'll be.
Any last words for our audience जो देख रहे हैं marketing वाले बच्चे बच्चियाँ, for anyone?
यार, the only thing I'm going to say is, यार, वो काम करो जिसमें जज्बा हो. Be passionate, be excited. क्योंकि जो काम निकल के आएगा when you're passionate about something, no job can replace that. And that's what's going to make you different. I feel everyone has a diamond in them. You just have to carve that diamond out. So that's a journey, and lifelong journey hoti hai ye. Some people find it earlier, some people find it later. But find that thing that makes you crazy, that makes you passionate, and that makes you different from everybody else. And instead of being afraid of it, endorse it, own it, and scream that this is who I am.
Thank you, Hasan. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise.
And what a wonderful human being you are. And
you're very kind. Thank you.
So much, such an insightful conversation that I had with you.
Likewise.
I really enjoyed. So, ये थे Hasan Rizvi. उनका Instagram नीचे mention है. You can follow him. He's a wonderful person. जैसा कि आपने सुना ही है. If you think अगर कोई question आप चाहते हैं कि मुझे पूछना चाहिए था और मैंने नहीं पूछा, you can ask in the comment section, and Hasan and I would definitely look into that, और शायद फिर हसन Instagram पे जवाब दे देंगे. और साथ ही साथ सब्सक्राइब करना नहीं भूलिएगा. आई होप यू गाइज एंजॉयड दिस एपिसोड. इंशाल्लाह आपसे मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम किसी और गेस्ट के साथ. तब तक के लिए खुदा हाफिज़.